And let me just share my monitor. Okay, so let me just repeat a little bit from the previous class. So you have almost 1 month for your first delivery. You need to have propose a problem or a project. What I mean, based on your interest or your major, you might find some interesting problem. For finance, I can say a finance professor and I, there is a, do you know Dr. CT? We are doing an analytics project in predicting the stock market. So, or you can do any other thing. I'm just saying there's a one thing. I think in marketing, Dr. Atefe, she's doing some analytics in marketing. I guess she's predicting the customer trends, something like that, I'm not sure, but, or you can do anything. It could be related to major or any interesting thing. It could be you want to predict survival of patients or anything that needs some data processing. And at the end, you get some value from your processes. So it will be your project. So in the first delivery, you need to find a scope of the project, motivation, importance of a study. For example, what you expect at the end of the project. So, and is a data-driven project, so you need to have data available. You might end up having a very interesting idea, but you don't have data. So what can you do? So it should be a doable project. Any questions so far? The issue that, okay, you might have a question later, so let me answer it now. So you might do a project proposal, but for some reason you lose your access to your data or you change your idea. That's okay, you get if you submit by September 25th, you get the credit for the first delivery. So no worries if you change your idea later. Second delivery, I mean, you do some literature review, you read papers, or you look at internet, find some what other people did. So you do some descriptive statistics and visualization that you learn. So before October 23rd, you already have knowledge of descriptive statistics and visualization. And the final project, you should, on top of whatever you submitted so far, you should submit a complete project that includes everything from abstract, introduction, descriptive statistics, and final results. For example, if you want to predict a stock market, then you should have a model that whenever you insert data, you can predict what is the stock value next day. I think we talk about overview of the course. So this is the 3 areas that you learn: descriptive analytics, predictive, and prescriptive. So in descriptive analysis, okay, I think Suarab has a question. What's your question?
Yeah, Professor, how do I understand that? I mean, for which project I'll be getting data? I mean, the data source and this stuff's just a bit clarification, I think, will help.
You need to do your search. For example, stock. Don't all of you do a stock market? I just sorry. So what I but for a stock market, you can get the data from Yahoo website, or you can do a search to see if the data is available, or you can get it from Kaggle. Let me just type it somewhere. Let me type it here so everyone can see. So Kaggle.com is a source. UCI, University of California, Irvine is a UCI data sets, whatever. And you can just Google it. Just Google, see if the data is available. And first find. You can do a cheat. You can do cheating. First find the data, then define the problem. It's another way of doing it. So anyway, so in the descriptive analytics, we work with the Tableau and Excel a little bit. If you have Python or R knowledge, you can do some visualization in those softwares, that's okay, but Tableau is really, really easy and good. And for Tableau, which you do descriptive statistics and visualization, I already requested a license for the whole of semester. But if you have, I think it's early start of the semester, probably you have more time, and Tableau is not difficult. You can start install Tableau and do some search on. There's so many YouTube videos that you can do learning, and I'll also teach in the class. But you don't need to wait for license. First of all, you get a 2 weeks trial. On top of that, there is some free version of Tableau, those kind of things. For example, let me show you my email. Hopefully there is no, let's see, okay. This is my request through Tableau, and you see you can download it for 14 days, and I'm pretty sure before that you get the full license. But keep the license for yourself, because, you know, if you give it to your, this is trial version, that's fine, but for the full version, if you like give it to all your friends, probably it cause issue for some of your friends that didn't install it. So because the license is for the number of students, so please keep that one. I mean, let me just send it over GroupMe. Oh, what happened? Please be a part of GroupMe. So this was going on. So 55 to 10. Okay, sorry, Saurabh, I just saw your question. I answered now. Usually Monday and Wednesday morning, I teach 2 other classes and I have office hours. So Monday and Wednesday, I'm not very fast in responding you because I already have like about 3 hours of teaching before you. But other time of the day, I have enough time. So this is Tableau trial version. So when you click it, you get to this link and you can install it for 14 days. But no worries, probably for 14 days, we get the full version. I'm not sure why the screen is weird. So this is the first part. In the first part of the course, you learn some descriptive techniques. Again, if you're very good at Python or R or other softwares, you can do it on those software. You don't have to do in Tableau, especially your final project. But you have some Tableau assignments too. So even you're very good in Python or other programming languages, you still need to learn Tableau and do some of your assignments in Tableau. We have some hands-on experiences. So some of our classes just lab, and I'll just go over the software, show it to you, and you practice with me. So in the predictive analytics, again, you know that you can do predictive using Python or R, but still we learn KNIME. KNIME is a free software that we can install free and use it. It's too soon to start KNIME, but let me just show it, the link to you. You put your information and then get the license, I mean, the link for downloading. So 9. When you click in this link, you get to the 9 websites. And the last part is prescriptive. Is there anyone here, either online students or in-person student, had experience working with operation research, or do you have any industrial engineering or mathematics background? So if you don't, that's okay. I mean, if you don't have the background, I mean, probably you don't want to do your final project in the with the prescriptive analysis, because it needs some background, some knowledge that I teach you. But since I teach that part in the end of the semester, probably there's not that much of time to do it for your final project. So most likely I can recommend you to do some predictive analytics, because you learn good tools and you can do your job. But, or, I mean, you can get a really good grade if you do predictive analytics, but prescriptive, you probably don't have that much of time. I think I talked about the last class. Let's see. Okay, the major visualization software that we do practice is Tableau. There is some other famous tools too, but Tableau is the most important visualization tool in the market. Especially if you don't want to get to PhD, you want to get an industry job, you need to be good at Tableau. And the good thing is not difficult actually. There is a learning curve associated with that, but Tableau isn't really difficult. You can easily get good grasp on it during the semester. Especially even if you start downloading from now, practicing from now, probably it will be really super easy software for you. But it's the most common visualization tool in the market. I'm telling you, actually it's very important, especially as a young analyst or finance guy. So when they hire you, they give you too many data. I think your friends cannot see me, but let's say they ask you to give them some reports and your manager probably is super busy. Let's say if you submit 3 pages of tables to them, they freak out because they really don't have that much of time, and they hire you to help them. But instead of helping them, every day you give them 3 pages of reports. I mean, after a while, they don't pay attention. Maybe at the beginning they look at that, they are okay. The good thing, I mean, one of the tools that help you and you will stand out among others is being good in visualization. Visualization, look at this figure. There is no mathematics in it. It's just talking about inflation rate during the years. So it's about 20, 30, then 10%. Let me see. So instead of that top figure talking about inflation rate during the years, they could submit 10 pages of numbers and everybody freak out. So with that one maybe looks easy. It's actually easy to understand, but you need some skills to make that easy figure. When you say easy figure, it doesn't mean that there is no value. Actually, there's too many values, and you help people to understand about inflation rate during the years. So people appreciate it a lot. So they are really important thing, especially early in your career, because it means if you're good in visualization, people can understand you better and they appreciate you more. Again, they would pay you a good amount of money to save their time and help them, not just like they could buy a software and just print the data every day look at the data. You know, they hire somebody to save time, make a good decisions, and visualization help them to make a good decision without wasting too much time. Second module is NIME. This is a free open source tool. If your major is not analytics, that's okay. NIME could be more than enough, but if you're an analytics student, it's not even enough for you. So you guys, which you have courses to learn how to do analytics in Python. I don't teach, maybe next year or next semester, but basically students in analytics learn how to do coding in Python and R, but they need to do some detailed analysis. They need to customize so many things. So, but this NIME tool is a graphical interface. You just drag and drop. You can do many good things, but you cannot customize it very well. Also, another thing, you know, whenever there's a new model, new research, people make new models, let's say deep learning is not that much new now, but let's say somebody end up creating new model. And for your business, you want to use new model. Usually first they come in Python and R packages. They are not available in commercial or graphical softwares because they need to spend time to make a graphical interface with just drag and drop whatever thing that you do. So again, if you want to be a hardcore analyst, you need to learn how to script. But if you are not, if you are a finance student, I mean, none should be very good. So your focus is on the results and the overall process, not a specific part of prediction or whatever. So for you guys, 9 is really good one. So the good thing is easy to learn. Instead of just typing everything, you just drag and drop, and you can make a model in like 10 minutes. But if you want to do a script, it might take like 2 days. Even more than 2 days sometimes. But. And Excel solver for the prescriptive analytics, which is, and I also use Lingo. Prescriptive analysis, let me just give you an example. Let's see, you are working the supply chain and you want to reduce the transportation cost. How you do that, you need to schedule the transportation, the trucks. For example, you said, what if you buy 2 small trucks or 1 large truck? Or when you send those trucks, is it good first send it 6 a.m. or wait 2 days, send it like with the larger trucks? Or maybe you can you can use Uber or whatever. So your goal is minimizing the cost or minimizing delay, or let's say you're working the manufacturing plant and you want maximize the production rate. Probably you need to buy some specific machines or hire somebody. For example, let's say this from like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I want to use 4 engineers or 4 laborers, and from like 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. you just want to use 1 engineer, 3 laborers. So there's some scheduling behind of that. This comes from prescriptive analytics. Basically, you try to optimize the process. Again, it's very high-end analytics part. So for the people who are not in business analytics, for you guys, you just need to know the overall concept. In your future, probably you don't need to use prescriptive analytics, but in some reports or in some of your business, maybe you need to work with those reports. So when somebody in business analytics, they will give you a prescriptive analytics, you should know at least what is going on there, what he's talking about. It's the expectation from the people who are not in the analytics major. Even for business analytics, I mean, you probably need to do that, but prescriptive analytics is mostly related to industrial engineering. They are very good at optimization. So as I told you, people who are in the business analytics, they do everything in script. They do a script in Python and R. But it's not they don't do such a thing for prescriptive analytics. Industrial engineers do that. So they are very good in prescriptive analytics. They work with the business analysts. And sometimes these 2 majors talk with the other majors like finance, people in the management level. So they need to know some common language to just say what they are talking about. And no worries, we are going to teach them. Also, there is one task for you. Go to Teradata University Network. You'll get very good resources, and also is associated to your textbook. In that website, you need to register, and the password is analytics. Basically, you get good training, some softwares, you even can find some data and case studies. So let me just show it to you. So you click on the link or copy. Let me just do it. You need to register. College student. And the password is analytics. You need to put your email address, make a password, create an account, put your address, and just spend a good amount of time to search through data, website. So this is your first assignment for this week. Even you might even find your project topic or project data from their website. So they provided really good resources, and this is the website that are associated to your textbook, and there's some example in your textbook that you can find its data in the website. For example, about precision football, let me just copy. What was my, I'm not sure if I know my password. I made it last year. I'm not sure if I remember my password. Probably I forgot, so let me just try it again. I think I need to recover my password, so we don't have time right now, but just, oh, I think I just logged in. Yeah, I already could log in. I mean, so put your information there, and there's a case study about sport analytics. Please, like, as your second assignment, please read this case. I mean, I think it's in either in, also in your textbook too, which, let's see. Maybe the website is down for maintenance right now because now I cannot see anything, but I mean, I don't evaluate this assignment, so no worries. So take your time. There is no deadline, anything. So, but from next week, you have assignments with deadlines. You have one assignment with deadline this week too, but okay, let's look at the history of business analytics. It actually started, the modern analytics started from 1970. People tried to use data for supporting decisions, or they call it decision support systems. They use early artificial intelligence model, very basic ones, even mostly statistics models to do prediction and finding association. In 1980s, first DBMS, relational DBMS, which means database management system. So in 1980, their data is larger. They need to create advanced database management systems, or DBMS. And also ERP, or enterprise resource planning software, created. So it was for managing whole the enterprise. 1990s, which dashboard and scorecards created. Also, they have their data is much larger, so they created data warehouses. Dashboard does really good things, which the name even comes from the car dashboard. So in car dashboard, you can see your speed, engine. If you don't have Tesla, probably your dashboard. In Tesla, there is no dashboard, but the other cars, you have speed indicator, engine speed, and engine, whatever, rotation indicator, gas, some like car electricity, temperature. So you see that for your car, you have so many indication and information in dashboard. Same, and you see everything in the online format. when you run your car, you see all the what is going on in your car. Same concept is for business. Your business is 24/7. You create a dashboard that anytime you can see what is going on in your business. For example, what is your inventory? What is your sale? Or inventory on any products? Number of employees working, or anything. Cash flow. So basically, similar to car dashboard, you make a dashboard for your business, and in that dashboard you see some indications for different parts of your business. And you actually make it in this class using Tableau. So with Tableau, you can make some dashboard for understanding what is going on in your business. No worries. I mean, we have so many lab and hands-on experiences. So when you do the actual work, it makes a lot more sense. So in 2000, at that time, data mining concept evolved, and also text mining introduced. And actually, that time, a very good artificial intelligence model and machine learning models created. And actually, it's the area of business intelligence, because now our models and computer powers are enough good to make intelligent decisions based on data. And now after 2010, we are in the social media and streaming data. And before that, you record all of your data, put it in the warehouse or a big database management system. Then you run your models on a big amount of data. But nowadays, we have a stream of data. Every second data is created, and you need to take care of that. You shouldn't just wait for the big amount of data, save it somewhere and record it later, because your data is just creating 24/7. Every second you have 1 million, I think, posts in the Facebook or Twitter, something like that. Millions of the posts. And I can give you some interesting examples. Let's say somebody is doing like, I can tell you, I'm trying to find a nice example, but I couldn't. But let's say somebody wants to do a terrorist attack, and they are talking with each other through emails or tweets or whatever they are just sending. Actually, it happened in Germany. So there's a few terrorists just communicating with each other. Police, they couldn't just wait, record all of the emails and process it later. They have some models that do streaming, and they do on-time analytics. So they understood there's something bad going on, and they just send police and catch them before doing that. So this is the new era of analytics. We do analytics over a stream of data. We don't wait to just record everything and do predictions. Is there anybody here has a better example for streaming analytics or social media analytics? Actually, I think there is a good example in the healthcare, I guess. So basically, I mean, you know, there is some companies or institutions that buy tweets data is for sale. And what they do, for example, what they call it, there is an institution for healthcare in the US. If I remember, I tell you. They can read the tweets and understand where is a corona or COVID-19 or any virus in the different parts of the country. For example, they read tweets near, let's say, New York, and they say so many people are typing about the symptoms of COVID-19. Or before that, before COVID-19, we had influenza outbreaks. So people understand where is the influenza, which part of the country there is more influenza cases. They couldn't call people, ask them, do you have influenza or not? They just look at the tweets and see which part of the country people are talking about the symptoms. so they can see there's an outbreak. I think it's a nicer example. But again, this is the newest era of analytics, which we have too much of the data. First of all, every second people create so many data. So even social media, people can make videos, text each other, so many things. And we have new types of the data, and also we need to do social networking or media analysis. Let me just read the definition of business intelligence. An umbrella term that combines architecture, tools, database, analytics tools, application, and methodologies. So in this course, we just use methodologies. They are the mathematical or computer science algorithms that we use. We don't need to know how they work. What we use for our goal. So you learn some analytic tools and applications, like, as I said, like Nine, Tableau, those kind of things. But the first one is descriptive analytics, which you use for reporting. For example, you want to see what is the current situation. For example, you make some histograms, let's say you want to predict the stock market. You can make a figure about the standard deviation of the price today, or like a pie chart about the how many trades is based on specific industries, and so on and so forth. So basically, in descriptive statistics, you want to make some visualization and some reports about what is going on in the current situation. This is the first part of your course. This is a larger figure talking about business intelligence concept. It's actually a very large concept. It's everything from managing your data, doing predictive analytics, and prescriptive. And you can even add more square, but this is general topics that are under business intelligence umbrella. For example, if you want to read people tweets and see what is going on, you should probably do data and text mining, this part. If you focus on data management, storing your data, you'll probably work with the data marts, data warehouses, and this kind of thing. So it doesn't mean that in your project you use all of them. It depends on your data. You probably focus on certain part of business intelligence. Again, this is the overall framework for business intelligence. First one is managing the data and finding some general report about the data. Then you use some models, and then at the end you get reports. So there is actually no general definition. It just generally, we want to read the current situation, find the issue, and find the solution. This is the overall thing that you do in business intelligence, and there's so many models and tools which we learn some of them in this course. These are some examples. For example, the first one is mostly prescriptive. For example, let's say you're working Apple and you make some cell phones. Do you want to understand, is it better to buy some parts or create or make everything in the Apple factory? Maybe Apple, I know in some times they used to buy something from Samsung and put it inside the Apple cell phone. So at that time, it was more beneficial for them not to produce everything, even buying something from their competitors. There is some security and privacy issues too. Basically, I mean, you cannot show every data. You make some data, but especially in the healthcare, you have some limitation in terms of reporting or accessing the data. So, also, for business analytics students, we are going to make an informed chapter. Other students can join. It's not just for business analytics. Even people in marketing and finance also join Informs. It's just application of analytics in different fields. Even I presented my research about healthcare in Informs. So anything that you work with the data comes from any domain. People do that and presenting info. This is the most prestigious, I can say, data science or business analytics institution, and we are going to run the chapter here. So basically, in Informs, you connect to the chapter and they give you some resources. They bring some people to a school to talk about you, and you can ask the question. They have conferences, there's some student activities, and you can candidate yourself for being president of Informs at Clark University. I think right now there's a student, her name is Jade Zhang, I guess. So she's a current president, but for the next years, you can just join the Informs and work with that. I think we're going to open it officially this fall because we started in the summer, which school was closed. So it has not opened officially, but we have a president now. So Informs, which stands for Institute for Operation Research and Management Science, as a definition for business analytics, analytics represent the combination of computer technology, management science techniques, statistics, and solve real problems. Basically, what does it mean? It means in analytics, you learn some tools to find the issues and solve it with the data, actually, not just any conceptualized problem. It's a good institution, and I strongly recommend to join it. Okay, again, when we start working in the lab, probably these terms makes more sense for you. Today I'm going to just tell you what is going on in the future. So in descriptive part, we want to see the current situation. So what happened or what is happening. You learn how to make business report, how to make dashboard, a scorecard. Also, in this part, you need to know how to manage your data. In predictive part, we want to predict what happens. And we use data mining, text mining, and web mining tools. The thing that in predictive part, you're not just interested in prediction. Sometimes we want to find important factors. Let me give you an example. In the finance, you want to predict what is the stock price tomorrow. You just focus on prediction, that's it. And I think it's straightforward. But let's say for the healthcare, you want to predict, if someone does heart transplantation or any surgery, how long that person could live. Maybe with 90%, you predict that person can live for 8 years. So what? Why you predict how long somebody can live? I don't say that data is not important. It's important to know your right expectation about the length of survival after heart transplantation surgery. But the most important thing in that part, we want to find the important factors associated to length of survival. Let's say you are a doctor and you understand if somebody reduce the blood pressure, reduce the weight, or if doctor prescribes some medicine, they can prolong the life of someone. So in that part, prediction is important, but most important, what are the more important factors in the prediction? People can find those factors. For example, doctor would tell a patient, so I expect you to live just 7 years, but if you lose 20% of your weight, or if I give you this medicine to you, instead of 7 years, you can live 12 years. So in healthcare, prediction is important, but most important thing, what are the important factors in prediction? And you can use those factors to saving people's life. Any questions so far? I'm not sure why there is let me stop sharing and that we share again. So, oh, now screen save. Okay, now it's no weird technical issue. Yeah, I'm not sure what is going on today. But anyway, so again, it depends on your domain. In predictive analytics, you either predict the actual outcome, or you find the important factors to that outcome. Depends on the domain. You change your goal. In prescriptive, which is the last type of analytics, you want to see what should I do or why should I do this? Or for example, if I want to decrease the transportation cost, what should I do in terms of scheduling? How I change the scheduler or the truck transportation by truck to reduce the transportation cost. If you haven't had any previous experience, it might be a little confusing right now, but no worries. Later I teach what is prescriptive analytics means, but basically you have a goal. You want to see what steps you need to follow to reach that certain goal. So in descriptive part, basically you do simple statistics. It even could be mean, median, standard deviation of your data, some visualization like pie chart, histograms. So you want to see what is going on, what is your current situation. This is actually descriptive analytics is the first part of your project. Either you do an analytics or prescriptive project, which you can do in group of 2. So or you can do it alone by yourself, or you can merge in the groups of 2 students. The first part is just telling me based on your data, what is going on in your system. What is the mean, median? What is the general statistics of your data? All of them are under descriptive analytics. In the predictive analytics, which is the second part, we mostly do it in 9, or as I said, you are very good in Python, or you can do that. So basically, we want to predict what happens. So if you have certain data, like market data of today, what happens tomorrow? What is the stock price tomorrow based on the today's data? So or if you have this data patient, how long that patient could live? So you basically want to see what happened in future. Again, it could, or you can do market basket analysis, which I teach you later. And for us, accurate prediction and also important factors are important. Again, prescriptive is mostly under optimization. There's some other tools like simulation. Sometimes making mathematical model is very hard, so people do simulation, which is basically they simulate they make some decision and they simulate do simulation based on mathematical equation, and they want to see what happens in future. Even in finance, analytics, and marketing, probably you can see in some papers people do simulations because they want to simulate what happens in future based on certain factors. So there's a question for now. I want to see if you paid attention to me. There's a call center means some like 911 or Amazon that you can anytime call them. So they have a 24/7 service. You want to have a scheduled employees. Basically, you don't want to miss any call. Let's say from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., they have 10 calls. You don't want to hire 2 person because you miss so many other calls. Or you don't want to hire 30 person because some of them are not busy. So you waste so much money. You are paying too much. So for each time slot, you want to hire a good amount of people without missing any call and minimizing the basically their salary. You don't want to hire too many people that don't do anything. What kind of analytics you use? Is it descriptive, predictive, or prescriptive?
I think it's prescriptive.
Yes.
Because you are putting some solutions as well. Like you are minimizing the cost per employee, and also you are optimizing the system so that you don't miss any call.
Yeah, that's actually the right answer. Thank you very much. So basically, yeah, the main goal is prescriptive analytics. Also in projects, as I said, you don't limit yourself to certain analytics. Still here, you can do descriptive analytics. You can report what is going on in your system. So you can make a histogram of number of calls. But the main goal of this problem is just do a scheduling of the employees, making hiring decisions. So the main goal is through prescriptive analytics. Many applications. More than 80% of the effort goes in business understand and data preparation. So if you have a bad data, or garbage in, garbage out. If you don't have good data, probably your prediction or prescriptive analytics is not good. Look at this, what you can see in this picture. What is it?
It's an iceberg, yeah.
Yeah.
Iceberg.
But you know, if I give you this data, it's very hard to say what is that. But if you see full picture, full data, you can make better decision.
Yeah.
So it's the importance of visualization, having that and data. So in any business decision, that is very important. You shouldn't make your decision based on limited data. As you see here, I even could say it could be cloud, not snowman or ice, whatever. So more than 70% of data in organization is unstructured, is another fact. Basically, structured data means data in the table. So you have columns and rows. This data is structured, which is, as you see, is about just a quarter of your data. But vast majority of your data is unstructured. Like in an organization, people write so many reports or notes. Report is a information, is a data, but it's in the text. Or in social media, there is so many information, all of them are in text format, not row and column format. So we call it unstructured data. And it needs certain algorithm to process them, which is basically, as you already see, I talk about history of business intelligence. After 2010, we see such a dilemma. Most of data is on a structured format, and processing that data is more complicated. Visualization. So choose an effective visualization. Look at this visualization. So what was the first sign that you saw in this picture? Stop. Yeah, because it's the most important. So if people pass that intersection, probably they make an accident. So they use some techniques, to grab your attention. So they use the red color, because they know that grab more attention. They could make blue, probably it's not that much eye-catching, but probably red and like this shape is more eye-catching for you. Also here, I think actually it depends, subjective, but probably sun is more eye-catching here than A-plan. Do you guys remember an visualization disaster related to A-plan? It happened like 6 months ago in Iran. So basically, it was a commercial flight going near a military zone. Actually, in the right, the airplane was in the correct trajectory. It wasn't approaching to anywhere. But the guy who's in the military base, he looked at his monitor, because of visualization thing, he was not sure, is it like, and at that time, Iran attacked the United States. And they was expecting to get some missile from US. So they are in high alert. But they saw in the monitor, the soldier saw, instead of seeing an airplane, he was thinking it's a cruise missile. So he fired by mistake, he fired the airplane. Probably they had a better visualization. He couldn't make any mistake because they were under high pressure, high mental pressure. Because of visualization, he just had 20 seconds to make a decision, and he made the worst decision that he could make. So they shut down a passenger airplane because of having mistakes of, is it a passenger airplane or is it a cruise missile? So you see that sometimes visualization could save a ton of lives. So there's some other example of like, for me here, the yellow is more eye-catching. I'm not sure. They are not the biggest one, but here for it might be different from you guys. Or for somebody, the pink one might be more eye-catching. I know. I think sometimes it's eye-catching. There is no certain idea about that. Here they want you guys to pay attention to that red color, probably red balloon. Oh, do you remember this disaster too? I think it's a better example of data presentation or visualization. Do you guys remember? I think it was like 3 years ago. Anybody from Zoom, do you remember this issue? It was for Miss Universe. So at first, the host, was thinking another lady got the first position. So he said, she's the Miss Universe, and they gave everything to the lady. Then they changed it. And now she's happy, but actually she cried in that competition because she was thinking she's a Miss Universe, but he was under pressure and he looked at the note, he made a mistake. He was thinking the other girl is the Miss Universe. So they gave it wrong. So she was the actual Miss Universe, not this lady from Colombia. So first they gave it to her, then took it her, gave it to another lady. Because actually she was crying. It was his note. You know, the way that they presented that is not that much nice. They could make different colors, and the winner could be used a larger note for winner, and for the runner-up, they could use a smaller font. But for everyone, they used same font, and he was under pressure. So when he didn't know, he made a mistake. So that happened. I mean, look at here. First runner-up, Colombia. Second runner-up, USA. Miss Universe, at the bottom, they said Philippines. Look at here. It's one of the worst way of presenting data. So probably if you had a better visualization method, the guy couldn't make a mistake. Probably if it was a normal situation, he never made a mistake, but he was like everybody screaming and waiting, and he had like 10 seconds to read the note, and he was okay, which one? And he saw the like Colombia there. He was thinking she's the winner, but at the bottom of the page was like Miss Universe from Philippines. So, I mean, so you use not only, I mean, the airplane example saved lives. Here it was like a disaster. You know, probably if they look at this one, this card, now there is a certain location with a different color saying which one is the Miss Universe. Probably if they did this, he never made any mistake, because here is obvious, and Philippines is the most eye-catching word. Probably he never made any mistake for that. Or you can propose a better visualization. So let me go. Here you see they want to say in 2012, 20% of children with a married stay-at-home mother with a working husband. It was 1970, it was 40, almost 40%, 2012, 20%. But you need to spend time, read everything, find it. It's okay, it's not, but look at the next format. Here you don't need to search for the data. You can easily understand 20% of children had a traditional stay-at-home mom in 2012 compared to 41% in 1970. So here, finding 20% is more challenging, but with a bit of visualization and creativity, you can easily transfer the information. Or look at here. Is a pro forma profit and loss. People should spend a big amount of time to read that and get some information. What is going on in this table? But what if you use different colors, and based on the tone of your color, maybe you can see how much positive or negative are they. So this is much more convenient, even if you go finance part, with like, for example, for furniture category, you can easily understand what is going on different years. Office supplies, technology. So as here, you can, in one glance of eye, you can see what is going on, versus in this one, you know, year one, year two, Jan, you know, you need to spend a good amount of time. So with visualization, you transfer the right information with a less amount of time, and probably you avoid mistakes. Because even in the business, I mean, here it was John Harvey. Miss Universe is a big thing, but it's not that much of importance. That's like airplane crash or making business decision. There are much more valuable decisions. So I just want to show you the importance of visualization. Okay, what's wrong in this picture? Can anyone find any issue? So we want to say what happens if we stop Bush, which is the president, tax cuts. So he had some tax cuts. I think it's related to Obama. Look at the differences of 35 and 30, almost 40, 39.6. You just want to see, I mean, misguide the audiences. There's just 4% differences, but the way that you show, you might freak out. You say, oh, if you pick a Democrat president, there's too much of differences with the tax cuts. From the bottom to 35, it's just this much of distance. But 35 to 39, look at the big gap. Basically here, they just want to catch your eyes saying that, well, it would be disaster after Bush. But the actual differences is this. If they show you this figure to you, you might say, oh, there's no big differences, but if they distort the data, you might freak out. Here, again, they want to say Obamacare is very expensive. There's just maybe 10% differences, but look at the gap. They're just emphasizing too much. As you see, I mean, it's not the right way of data presentation. You're just emphasizing the gap. What actual difference is this? Here, maybe you say 10, 15% differences, but here, every say, wow, that Obamacare is very expensive. Usually in visualization, in professional visualization, we try to avoid 3D graphs. It's more professional to use just 2 dimensions, but I think it's kind of subjective, but usually in professional visualization, people just use 2 dimensions than these 3D things. I think it's less complicated, and because when you add more dimensions, it's harder to interpret your data. And that type of, okay. So you have an assignment. Please read application 1.2 and 1.3 from your textbook. I give you no deadlines for reading them because I know you might just order the textbook. So, there is an open deadline for that part. But I need a document from you guys. In that document, introduce yourself, your background, hobbies, and a photo of you, because I want to remember your pictures. So last semester, some of your friends forget to put the picture in their introduction, so I gave them 0 until the end of semester that they figure out they didn't put it there. So please don't wait up to end of semester. Just make a report. You don't see the assignment right now. I'm going to create the assignment, and I give you like more than 1 week to do that. So you just need to make a 1 paragraph, explain introduce yourself, your background. Technical background. You don't need to talk about your family. So you can, but you don't have to. Maybe you can say it was my undergrad and I had these experiences in the industry, whatever. Your like some hobbies or fun fact about yourself. Try not. You can make pages, but please don't more than 200. You can make more than 200. That's okay. But I just want to grasp good amount of data, at most 1 page, not like shouldn't read too many data. And this is some extra thing to read. I think early semester you have more time to read some extra things. What you do for next week, I can recommend download and install Tableau, download and install 9. Maybe you can install Excel solver and also just make this introduction for yourself. Cool. Any questions? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Professor?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so what about the bullet point 2 under homework 1? Any recent business analytics application? What to do with this?
Oh, sorry, I just missed that part. For both of them, don't make more than 200 for the first and second. You can just Google it, see, for example, what companies, how they use business analytics to solve any problem. You can just Google it. Like you can say, for example, Amazon did that, or like Google did this, or Alibaba using analytics for such a thing. I think there isn't too much of a stories online. You can easily find that. You can use just keywords, for example, business analytics example, something like that. So it shouldn't be difficult. Sorry, I just forgot to tell you the second part of the assignment. But for both of them, you don't have to spend time. 200 words for each is enough. Cool. Thank you. Sorry, I missed that part. So if you're shy to talk, you can text your questions. There's a chat room. You can just put your questions. And also, if you forget to ask questions now, you can email me or just ask your questions over group me. I mean, I try to be very fast, like other part of the weeks, but usually Monday and Wednesday I'm a little slow in responding.
Hi, Professor. Can I
Yes.
ask what is the Tableau, the key of the Tableau? I didn't.
Yeah, I ordered a student license for all of you. It takes, I think it takes like 1 week for us to get the license. But before that, you can install a trial version. And the trial version, you can like use it for 2 weeks.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? So if there's no question, let me finish today. So hopefully from next week, we have more hands-on experiences. I try to have more like lab-based classes than teaching concepts. For concept, I think I give you some parts of the textbook, you can read that and you get very good grasp. Also, you might have some exam from the textbook, not now, but in future, probably have some exam or quizzes from your textbook. Cool. Thank you very much. So if there's no question, I stop today, but again, you still can post your questions or anything that in your mind. So I'm available, hopefully